same water, breathe the same air, and fought on the same battlefields. But then they faced a day that none of us can imagine.
These two Triceratops are battling.
And well armored, but there's another. Ended up poised to change history. Planet Earth. Triceratops are among the most widespread dinosaurs on the North American continent. They're herbivores, but that doesn't mean they're wallflowers.
One Triceratops has won.
Triceratops take their mating rights very seriously. Ended up to 6 tons each. A face-off can be fatal. This time, intimidation does the trick. But there's another enemy waiting in the wings. He's not after mating rights. The Triceratops is fast and well armored enough to stand a chance against T-Rex, but not against two of them. Hunting as a pair, one T-Rex could get behind the deadly horns and armored collar. There's enough meat here to feed them both for weeks, but they may not have the time to enjoy it. A quarter of a million miles up is the Earth's
guide
last hope
to
of
the
defense.
video
The moon has saved the planet before.
I will not be in the comments.
Its pockmarked surface
Instead,
bears the scars of countless collisions.
it will
This
be
crater, known as
something
Tycho,
else.
is more than 50 miles wide. Created by a rock only half the size of the one that's on its way. Is rarely in the right place at the right time. Nothing can stop the asteroid now. This cosmic missile isn't as alien as it seems. Like the Earth itself, it's made up largely of rock and water. In the cold vacuum of space, the water freezes into a hard...
Number 9, Tarbosaurus breaks his tooth.
Americana, the day has come. I can see you're very upset.
This is a teenage Tarbosaurus trying to meet an Ankylosaurus. This is the armor of the Ankylosaurus in Asia.
Ankylosaurus, aka Buck Weeper.
This is the teenage Tarbosaurus I was talking about.
Ankylosaurus, aka Bananas.
Ankylosaurus. He misses, and then he bites and breaks one of his teeth. That tooth comes out into the ground. The Ankylosaurus is suffering because it's getting bitten on the head.
Tarbosaurus wins.
Eventually, it gets killed by Carbosaurus, but because of because it got hit by Tarbosaurus, because the Tarbosaurus got hit by the club of the Ankylosaurus, the Tarbosaurus died out. Number 8. Tarbosaurus rage. Tarbosaurus is looking for Patch is looking for his young. He is a Tarbosaurus.
From a distance, the For Patch, this season signals a long and lonely journey. Swallowed his quarry. He seems proud of his violent act and he's ready to fight. Patch is too late. His child is already being devoured by the Therizinosaurus. Patch threatens his enemy with a loud roar, but the Therizinosaurus has swallowed his quarry. He seems proud of his violent act and he's ready to fight. Patch trembles with rage. Patch is impatient, which causes him to lose control. He falls to the ground after one blow.
If you could know exactly when you were going to die.
His ribs and legs, which support his 7-ton weight, may be broken. Nevertheless, he musters his strength to get up again and face his nemesis. This is an inevitable showdown between the two strongest dinosaurs in the forest. In the end, Patch was victorious over the Therizinosaurus that killed his baby. But his victory comes at a painful cost. Broken bones and wounds that run deep into his flesh. Patch knows how dangerous it is to have such injuries in the forest.
In an act of evolutionary pragmatism, his mate leaves him to find a healthier male. And the scent of blood from his wounds has begun to attract the velociraptors.
Eventually it dies, and they eat his dead body.
He was once king of the forest, but now Patch must accept the sorrowful fate laid out before him.
Number 7. Tyrannosaurus versus
Never-ending pasta bowl is back
Triceratops.
at Olive Garden, starting at $10.99. Come in for over 100 combinations of...
An old Triceratops driven from the road is out on another kind of place. A Tyrannosaurus has sea nest, which has also been drawn away from the herd because there are too many of his lions already eaten. It seems the Tyrannosaurus is going to win, but then Triceratops stabs him with his right horn. He dies, and then the Triceratops dies. And then both dinosaurs are going to fall inside of the hole, which has been caused by the volcanic activity. Number 6. Rogue Tyrannosaurus. Now we go back to the last day of the dinosaurs.
By suffocation. But none of it could have been possible if a chance collision in space 165 million years ago hadn't sent an asteroid hurtling toward Earth. Or that won't take
An Ankylosaurus has found food during this mass
all it can
extinction.
find now is a small bush. And even that won't come without a fight. But hunger is the least of their worries. It's two of this world's best armored warriors. This is a hungry carnivore that won't take no for an answer. giants are forced to fight for every calorie, even to the death. So the dinosaurs that outlast the ejecta, firestorms, and poison gas ultimately fall victim to the demands of their own massive bodies. It took 160 million years to bring the dinosaurs to this point in their evolution. It took just one rock to bring them down. The events triggered by the impact flashed by at breakneck speed. Seismic shocks caused massive earthquakes. Boulders the size of buildings rained down, followed by a brutal blast wave, all within the first 3 minutes. By the time the superheated ejecta cloud hit Mongolia, just 44 minutes later, the whole planet was in shock. In the coming days, forest fires razed the earth. Violent dust storms destroyed entire ecosystems. Titanic waves wrecked coastlines. Put all these together, and it's hard to believe that anything on Earth could have survived. But something has. Mexico, 500 miles from the point of impact. The very first landmass to feel the force of the asteroid strike. A region that is thousands of toxic gases that all on the world. Adding to the debris clouds of dust and toxic gases that already surround the globe.
Number 5, Tyrannosaurus
Is
dead.
already many miles deep. A thick blanket, stopping light and warmth reaching the Earth's surface. The planet plunges further into a nuclear winter. In the days and weeks that follow, the only growth to thrive is fungus, which lives off the rotting remains. Toxic gas on the world. Deep inside the planet, they trigger molten as tectonic waves ripple through the planet. 5,000 miles per hour. It shoots 1 million megatons of energy. Deep inside the planet, they on the world, toxic gases. And for the starving Tyrannosaurus, the future looks bleak. But it stays near the cave that has saved it twice in the past. The watering hole that once provided plenty. But the last Tyrannosaurus doesn't fall victim to starvation. Bubbling to the surface is one of nature's most toxic gases, hydrogen sulfide. Released from deep underground by volcanic activity, it collects invisibly in low-lying areas, like the waterhole's natural basin. The gas paralyzes the lungs, making escape impossible, and it kills by suffocation. What was once a refuge is transformed into a death trap. The last dinosaur in this part of Mongolia is dead. Mexico, too, is a graveyard. Just 500 miles from ground zero, It's been hit by wave after wave of devastation. There would seem to be little else that nature could throw at it. And yet, amidst all this destruction, beneath a thin layer of charred soil, a lone Alamosaurus egg survives. In the Pacific Northwest, just
Number 4. Centrosaurus drowning. The next one, Triceratopsian dinosaur called Centrosaurus.
living through the golden age of dinosaur discoveries. From all over the world, a whole new generation of dinosaurs has been revealed. From the biggest giants and the deadliest killers, to the weird and the wonderful. From the Arctic to Africa, from South America to Asia, using the latest evidence of an annual event. In Dinosaur Provincial Park, thousands of bones have been discovered scattered across the same rock layer. They belong to the horned dinosaur Centrosaurus. And they appear to be the bone beds of vast killing fields, sites of wholesale slaughter. This vast herd of Centrosaurus are on the move. From their nesting sites on coastal lowlands to the east. Unwittingly, they're moving towards almost certain death. Seasonal monsoons drive the centrosaurs inland, away from coastal flooding. It's what the Displatosaurus have been waiting for. Herding behavior protects the many, but at the expense of the few. Things are about to get worse for the centrosaurs. With a flooded river ahead and the Displatosaurus behind, the stage is now set for a massacre. Despite the rich pickings, it's not the Daspletosaurus that are responsible for the scale of the slaughter. There's an even more deadly killer at work here. Severe monsoon rains have transformed shallow rivers into lethal torrents.
There's a crocodile. Now it is obvious I will.
The real killer is the weather itself.
This young Centrosaurus is the animal that I was talking about.
In these deadly packs, youngsters provide the speed, adults the power. It's a hunting strategy they use to deadly effect. If they offered little physical protection,
This is the number 4, the number 3, the Chasmosaurus. This is a Chasmosaurus, a Ceratopsian dinosaur.
this Daspletosaurus is just a youngster. Even two Daspletosaurus pose little threat. In 2005, a remarkable discovery was announced. In the two Medicine Formation of Montana, a new dig had unearthed something quite extraordinary. A collection of Daspletosaurus fossils, all buried at the same place at the same time. The implication is that Daspletosaurus hunt in gangs. And in doing so, grew to almost double the size. Wherever else tyrannosaurs lived, they were the largest predator, living in groups that consist of both youngsters and adults. Deadly packs, youngsters provide the speed, adults the power. It's a hunting strategy that they use to deadly effect. Despite appearances, this mob attack isn't carefully planned. There is no strategy behind the actions of the gang. It's merely opportunism. And when the kill has been made, the next battle soon begins.
This is an episode of
In
Planet
many
Dinosaur
tyrannosaurs, we find holes
which
and
talks
gouges
about
on
the
the
last
skulls,
killers
injuries which
on
turn out to be
Earth,
bite
which are
marks
dinosaurs.
made by other tyrannosaurs. In one Dilophosaurus fossil, the tooth marks indicate that an individual had been subject to several attacks. In another, the tip of a tooth was left embedded in the bone of its skull. From this evidence, we can assume that such groups were far from harmonious.
Number 2, Stegosaurus bitten plate.
This is the Nest Hub from Google. That's a good shot. And it can,
We are living through the golden age of dinosaur discoveries.
This episode
From
of
all
Planet
over the
Dinosaur
world,
is the
a
fourth
whole
one,
new generation of dinosaurs has
called
been
Fight
revealed.
for Life.
From the biggest giants, a heavily armored tank with a deadly weapon at the end of its tail, known as a thagomizer.
Stegosaurus and Camptosaurus.
Camptosaurus, a much smaller plant eater with no obvious defenses.
Relying on Stegosaurus for protection. Almost always found together.
Skull analysis shows that Camptosaurus has bigger eyes and, relative to its body, a much bigger brain.
Stegosaurus is the dumbest dinosaur because its brain is small,
Camptosaurus appears to be a lookout.
about the shape and size of a peanut. It may not be smart, but it doesn't have to
While
be
the armored
smart to
Stegosaurus
fight.
provides the muscle.
I mean, it's famous and it's known to defend itself.
It's likely Camptosaurus and Stegosaurus stuck close together for mutual protection. In a world where danger is ever present.
A species of Allosaurus is attacking.
Allosaurus, a 1.5-ton ambush hunter with a lethal bite. The world had never known a predator like it.
That's what it
But
was
having
called,
lost the element of surprise,
Allosaurus means the
is now
different
faced with the prospect of either starving or facing the most well-protected giant of the Jurassic. Virtually impregnable from behind, a predator needs to try to attack the stegosaurs from the front.
That's the bitten plate I was talking about.
The evidence for encounters such as these is incredible. Fossil finds of 2005 directly link these two great animals in battle, revealing the unmistakable signs of injury. The Stegosaurus backplate was discovered with a U-shaped bite taken out of it, a bite mark that fitted the Allosaurus jaws perfectly. Even more amazing was an Allosaurus vertebra.
This is the family who wanted to connect and find inspiration in new places.
Or discoveries. We're living through the golden age of dinosaur discoveries. All over the world, a whole new generation of dinosaurs has been revealed. From the biggest giants and the deadliest killers to the weird and wonderful. From the Arctic to Africa, from South America to Asia. In just the last few years, we have uncovered the most extraordinary fossils, exquisitely preserved,
Spinosaurus, the
tantalizingly
dinosaur.
sinuses in the snout that
There was
look
a
just
time
like
when
those of
Spinosaurus and
crocodiles.
Carcharodontosaurus
It's
were
thought these
battling.
contain pressure sensors.
Spinosaurus.
Sensors that, like a crocodile, with prey plentiful, Spinosaurus can afford to be wasteful. It's bigger than T-Rex. But Spinosaurus wasn't the only giant predator which thrived here.
In Africa.
Carcharodontosaurus, a land-based killer, a meat-eater, a carnosaur, a cousin
Different
of
from a
Allosaurus, but
tyrannosaur.
4 times bigger, with serrated teeth 16 centimeters long. Carcharodontosaurus was a giant killer. Up to 13 meters long and weighing around 7 tons. Like Spinosaurus, it too was bigger than T-Rex.
It was
Big
12.5
predators,
meters.
these big hunting ranges. Carcharodontosaurus may have needed up to 500 square kilometers each, making competition for the best hunting grounds intense. These young male Carcharodontosaurus both want supremacy over this territory. Dominating the land is the key to survival.
Spinosaurus is starving because climate change caused the lakes and rivers where it feeds to
Embedded
be
within one of the
lost.
vertebrae was a tooth. It was the unmistakable shape of a Spinosaur tooth. The stomach contents of another Spinosaur, Baryonyx, from England, was found to contain some bones of a
That would be
juvenile
another
iguanodon, a
species.
plant-eating dinosaur. In spite of their specialization, clearly Spinosaurs weren't exclusively fish eaters. But hunting and catching prey isn't easy, particularly when they're already alert. Hunting on land, Spinosaurus is also forced into direct competition with any large predators living in the same environment. And here, that can only mean one animal. Carcharodontosaurus.
Don't say I didn't tell you. And also, don't say that I didn't tell you that the fight was going to be brutal because, like I said before, Spinosaurus deadly.
Contests over carcasses are common. But outcomes of such fights are far from guaranteed. Risk of injury for big animals is acute. Modern Komodo dragons are often killed in fights over carcasses.
Spinosaurus is the biggest flesh eater that has
More
ever
than 3 inches
existed.
longer, Spinosaurus has size and
Archaeopteryx is
power
bigger
on
than
its side.
T-Rex, but not as big as Spinosaurus. There are two species of Carcharodontosaurus
But Carcharodontosaurus
in Africa,
has the more lethal bite.
and Carcharodontosaurus and Spinosaurus only lived in Africa, alongside Paradititan, Rugops, Sarcosuchus, the Nile crocodile,
This time the Spinosaurus triumphed,
Tyrannosaurus.
but the balance of power between these two deadly killers is a precarious one. In 2008, a Spinosaurus vertebra was recovered. Part of the tall neural spine of the bone was broken off. It appeared to have been bitten in half. It's been suggested that the bite was inflicted by Carcharodontosaurus. Spinosaurus was the last and the largest of the fish-eating dinosaurs. But ultimately, these specialists were doomed. Something way beyond their control caused their downfall. 94 million years ago, the climate changed.
It went extinct 94 million years ago and
The
appeared
swamps and
95
rivers that
million ago.
Spinosaurus thrived in gradually were lost. With their loss, Spinosaurus' specialism became a vulnerability. And the biggest predator ever known to have walked the earth
Spinosaurus.
disappeared.
In case things are not obvious to you. Before we get to Zero Zone, my name is Ishmael Gilchrist, and I hope you're enjoying my narration. If you want to know what I look like in real life, then watch my video. 5 dinosaurs caught on camera. Also, subscribe to my channel because I upload a new video anytime.
Our moon. And slowly, our oceans formed, until life on Earth was ready to
It
begin.
formed because of
But who would
meteors.
inherit this blue
And
planet?
some of those meteors came into the water and created life.
This The rising water levels suit one group of hunters. Amphibians. They've continued thriving over the last 60 million years. Their thin skins still restrict them to the water's edge, but they're now powerful predators with a devastating pair of jaws, ready to ambush anything that wanders within reach.
Mesothele was
The
golden. It
homeless
was not
spider tries
golden
her
like
luck further
today.
inland.
It was the size of a human
But other
head.
Mesothelae fill the forest floor, and they don't like to share.
And it was black and red. Unlike today, and that's Arthropleura, which scares
Neither
it.
does Arthropleura. He's a distant relative of modern millipedes. Although he's vegetarian, his strong jaws could still deliver a nasty bite.
It used to be unclear whether it was vegetarian, carnivore, or omnivore, but it's a vegetarian, despite its
With the rising waters, Arthropleura's foraging leads him into dangerous territory.
is the ancestor of millipedes and centipedes, although it's not any of them. Protogeninus is extinct and not related to anything. It's one of the first Temnos condors, the largest amphibians ever, the largest being
In this
the
clash of the
which lived in
titans,
the
the
Permian period,
arthropod's
which is
armor is
after,
his best defense.
which looked like a crocodile, which was low, and that creature was lower.
Unless it gets split. Impaled, his soft innards provide a feast. The lightning storm is building, moving ever closer.
I made my video called 5 Strange Things Got on Camera. Watch it and I hope you'll like it. See you next time.
It is a thriving water world, filled with strange and amazing creatures. An ocean paradise. But a killer from space is heading this way. Throughout the Earth's history, catastrophic events have caused numerous mass extinctions.
This one talks about the Ordovician extinction event.
Nature snaps back
The
with
first
remarkable
of the
resilience.
5 biggest mass extinctions.
These mass
As you can see, this is the Ordovician period, a time after the Cambrian.
extinctions are a brutal part of our
The
past
Ordovician
and
period
could be part
the
of our
Ordovician
future.
extinction occurs after
Who
the
will live
Cambrian
and
Ordovician
who will
extinction.
die?
No one knows
The
what
answers
caused
may
that.
surprise you.
The
Now
next,
witness the
which is
first
the
mass extinction
this
in the
is the
planet's
first
history.
of
Death
the
rays
5 biggest
on
mass
Animal
extinctions.
Armageddon.
It may have been caused by a gamma ray burst. There were no dinosaurs, there were no humans.
It is not the strongest
Nothing
of a
yet
species that
existed on
survives,
land.
nor the most
Just
intelligent.
life in the
It is the
ocean.
one that is the most adaptable to change. Charles Darwin, 1859. Our planet's first great mass extinction begins 500 million years ago. Long before humans, long before even the dinosaurs. A controversial theory suggests this cataclysm could have started 6,000 light years from Earth. A dying star in the Milky Way implodes and goes supernova. Massive energy shoot from its poles. A gamma ray burst. These are the largest explosions in the known universe. The 10-second blast contains more energy than 1,000 suns. The lethal rays rush violently through the cosmos at the speed of light. On a collision course with a small blue planet, Earth.
If it were close enough, it would blow the atmosphere off the planet.
It would also burn it to a crisp and cause the planet to explode. But if it's far away enough, then it would cause a mass extinction lasting for 550,000 years. It was found that it was actually caused by a large volcanic eruption. So as you can see, so it appears that volcanic eruptions are the most common way for mass extinctions to happen. Number 14, Hell on Earth. Hell on Earth is the second episode on Animal Armageddon. The second of the 5 biggest mass extinctions. The first was actually caused by a volcanic eruption. Scientists believe that the Devonian extinction was caused by a volcanic eruption. It attacked from far, far beneath our feet. A super plume. Portions of the very deep, hot earth which for reasons that people don't know break off from the other magnetic material in order to go up in a journey and causes a disaster. The Earth's core contains so much lava enough to throw the Earth into a catastrophe of death. Once again, taking so long. Number 14 talks about the Devonian extinction. It happened in the Devonian period 377 million years ago. It was the age of fish, and suddenly a horrific volcanic eruption occurred. And I mean horrific. Erupted from the ocean. 8,000 years later, the eruptions had a new tactic. Eruptions were erupting into the water, and eventually they attacked the land. Number 13, The Great Dying. The Great Dying is another episode of Animal Armageddon. It talks about the Permian extinction, the third of the five biggest mass extinctions. Who knows when we get to be the biggest of them all? It was caused by a horrific volcanic eruption. It caused lethal climate change. Climates are probably switching back and forth. It is the worst mass extinction ever. 95 per 95% of all species died out, while 5% survived. In the Devonian extinction, 70% have perished. in the Cambrian period 488 million years ago. 68% of life perished. In my opinion, it must have been a supernova which happened far enough so that the world doesn't get destroyed, causing the oceans to boil, and the loss of oxygen affects many animals. Hydrogen sulfide bacteria take over, and methane hydrants melt into methane because of the heat. The carbon dioxide trapping heat 250 million years ago in the Permian period heated the world so much that the oceans have lost their oxygen, and then hydrogen sulfide bacteria thrived in the water which didn't have oxygen and produced hydrogen sulfide, methane, wiped out everything else on Earth. Sulfur dioxide blocked out the sun, causing volcanic winters. 10% of all species perish, but carbon dioxide makes the world even hotter and hotter and hotter. Acid rain is caused because water vapor combines with sulfur dioxide to create sulfuric acid. Proterosuchus and Trinacodon never existed in that time, but instead it was Prosanosuchus, which looked like a small mammal. Lystrosaurus has survived. Their cousins, Disanodons, haven't been as lucky. Lystrosaurus murayi did not survive the extinction, although it is not mentioned in this video. The Gorgonopsians or said to have not survived, but actually they survived and are related to mammals. Our ancestor Prosanosuchus had a similar to Mesosaurus, which eventually evolved into Proterosuchus sometime in the Triassic period. Have survived too. Many amphibians have died off. As for the Ordovician extinction, it wiped out 3/4 of the Earth species, or also called 3/4 or 75% or 0.75. So you can say that 0.75% of all life and the Ordovician period died out. It was once thought that an asteroid caused the permanent extinction, but it was found that it lasted for 500,000 years, much too long to be the result of an asteroid strike. Number 12, Strangled. Strangled is another video of Animal Armageddon. A horrific volcanic eruption that could have wiped out 95, 96, 97, 98, or 99% of all life on Earth. Instead, it was 75% caused when Pangea broke apart. No other continental drift has ever caused a horrific disaster like this. One of the consequences was bacteria turning the oceans purple, which is why it is said that they were once purple. Desmatosuchus and all the other ichthyosaurs went extinct. The Eudimorphodon, some of the first flying reptiles, died out. Luciodon and all the other phytosaurs also went extinct. The heat saps their strength. The Helicoprion almost died out into today's ghost shark. The last The dinosaurs drank the same water as us, breathed the same air, fought on the same battlefields, lived on the same world. Until the end, then their downfall came 65.5 million years ago.
Our world was once a world dominated by dinosaurs. They walked where we walk. They drank the same water. The same air. Fought on the same battlefields. Then they faced a day that none of us can imagine. Some of the most critical hours in the history of life on Earth. This is the story of the day their world ended. The last day of the dinosaurs. Earth, 65 million years ago. A warmer place than it is today. Along the west coast of what's now North America, mountains tower over a lush forested valley. It's the domain. Degrees. It's burning brighter than a million suns.
It emerged from a collision in the asteroid and
It takes just 5 seconds to flash through the atmosphere. Impact
the moon
seems
has
instantaneous.
been
But hidden within the cataclysm are a series of discrete events invisible to the naked eye, but key to understanding what follows. The asteroid's trajectory is shallow. It flies in at about a 30-degree angle to the surface. This means the full brunt of its destructive power will be thrown to the north of the impact point. Even before the fireball touches down, its sheer brightness in the sky is unimaginable. 500 miles from ground zero, the light is so intense, it makes the Alamosaurus flesh seem transparent. And burns flash frames of their shadows onto the ground. The scorching light sears their eyeballs. They have no way of seeing what's headed their way, but they can feel it. An explosive force of 100 million megatons, more powerful than all the nuclear weapons ever built. If the asteroid had crashed into deep ocean, some of the force would have been absorbed. Instead, it hits the shallow waters of the Gulf of Mexico, which instantly vaporize. In a fraction of a second, the entire asteroid disintegrates into the planet. Earth and rock also vaporize and are hurled skyward at 100,000 miles an hour. Behind them, 80,000 cubic miles of the Earth's crust explode to the ground. 500 miles from the crash site, the air temperature now reaches 600 degrees. Hot enough to boil away the water in the dinosaur's skin, which stays when the sun bursts its skin. The fiery blasts suck every drop of moisture from the vegetation. Exposed to the blistering heat, this simple form of life. Just 108 seconds after impact in the Gulf of Mexico, the bright streams of vaporized rock can be seen in the Pacific Northwest. The fireball high above the horizon, 3,000 miles away. That's how big it is. Just 2 minutes have passed since the asteroid landed in the Earth. Surprisingly, there are survivors. Those lucky enough to be shielded by a mountain are spared the worst of the light and heat blasts. But 3 more waves of destruction are coming. On impact, boulders the size of buildings blasted into the air at supersonic speeds. But what goes up must come down. Hundreds of surviving Alamosaurus are bombarded from above. A second wave hits from below. An earthquake measured 11.1 on the Richter scale. 60 times more powerful than any earthquake humans have experienced. The third wave is the blast pulse wave, radiating outward in a perfect circle. Having a force that rips through air faster than the speed of sound, stripping skin from flesh, flinging 30-ton dinosaurs into the air like so many rag dolls. Just 5 minutes have passed since impact, and 3 waves of destruction have decimated an entire species. Many other species of dinosaur in the region share the Alamosaurus fate. Most of the eggs, too, have been destroyed. And yet the Earth is a powerful protector. Some eggs buried in the cool ground have survived. New Alamosaurus life is growing. There is still hope. For now. An immense boulder the size of Mount Everest crashes into the Gulf of Mexico, driving entire species of dinosaurs to extinction in less than 5 minutes. But the worst is still to come. On the other side of the planet, there's still no sign of trouble. Mongolia is 8,000 miles from the impact.
Number 4. 10 YouTubers who almost passed away.
going to analyze YouTubers who almost passed away when making a video. How ironic it must be the very platform you use to make a living on nearly becomes your end. Number 10. YouTuber named CJ Powers eagerly records the final stages of a drone project he and his crew have been working on together. They were just about to fire it up when his friend Christian makes a nervous joke about the drone coming to life and attacking.
You go rogue and it's gonna come out.
Roughly 2 minutes later, his joke becomes prophecy. Watch again and you'll see the sharp propeller swing towards Christian's face and neck at a high rate of speed. The loud motor gives Christian just a...
Number 3, Crazy. If I were to make that video, I would call it 10 YouTubers who ran away from crazy, but it's crazy events.
Sometimes a crazy event will leave you with only seconds to react. You can always try to stand your ground, but as these YouTubers have come to find, running away is often the only way to survive. Number 10. A YouTuber named King Fresh is hanging out with his crew at a wild and crazy underground car rally. Burnouts and donuts fill the parking lot for a long time until it gets late and most of the drivers go home. Those who remain have more space to do even crazier maneuvers than ever before. Still, none of them could have been prepared for what this sports car does next.
Oh, we got a Mustang right here in the wild. What do you guys think? You like it or no?
A Mustang charges straight towards a small group for no real reason other than to show off. I think they might lose control though, because at 8 minutes and 5 seconds you can see it was about to plow straight into King Fresh. The headlights are pointed straight at him and he barely steps out of the way. Number 9. After a day of poking around an abandoned asylum turns up nothing of interest, a YouTuber named Abandoned Explorer and his friends are leaving when an SUV comes close to running them over. Out steps an aggressive older man, who first admits to putting them in danger, and then kicks over their camera.
The police are coming. You're not me down. I did really know. Put that out. I'll put it out. Okay.
Here it looks like he is getting back into his car to drive away, but look closely and you'll see he is actually rummaging around the back seat for something.
He's got a gun! Yes, he's got a gun.
That's when the group realized what it is he's reaching for. It's hard to say how much trouble they were truly in based on the way he used his car against them. I also have little doubt that this... Today, we are going to analyze YouTubers who almost passed away while making a video. How ironic it must be the very platform you use to make a living on nearly becomes your end.
Number 2.
Number 10. A YouTuber named CJ Powers eagerly records the final stages of a drone project.
Not fire. Number 2.
They are just about
around
to fire
his
it up with
throat.
his friend Christian.
Number 2 will probably make you cover your mouth.
did. Take a look at the evidence again and let me know what you think really happened here. Number 2. A YouTuber named Nick Soup is barefoot water skiing when suddenly he finds one of the handles wrapped firmly around his throat. Look again in slow motion and you'll see exactly how this 1 in a million scenario unfolds. The handle drops into the water, shoots back into the air, and wraps perfectly around Nick's throat like a noose. Thinking fast, he rips the handle over his head while still hanging on. Had he let go and fallen into the water, he would have been dragged by the neck at high speeds. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying my narration. Vital in taking his life. Number 9. A YouTuber named Josh
Number
Higgs is on vacation
1,
somewhere. When a
fire.
raging wildfire causes him to pack up and take off.
Yeah. Dude, that gets closer every time I record it.
He and his family escaped to a remote cabin that's a good distance away. Firefighters have even cleared a ditch around the property in hopes of containing the spread. Soon it becomes apparent that they may not have gone far enough.
Wait, it's coming closer and closer. I can feel the light. I know. I can feel the light. Yeah.
In my opinion, Josh and his family should have left a long time ago, but they wait until the fire is very close before they pile into their car and barely escape. I wouldn't be surprised if where they were standing was reduced to rubble and ash within the hour.
I wouldn't
Single gust
either,
of wind in the wrong direction
but
could
I
have sent the
would
fire
be,
screaming
but I
towards
would
them twice as
if I were
fast as
experiencing the
before.
fire burning
Number
it.
8.
Before we get to number 0, my name is Ishmael Gilchrist and I hope you're enjoying my narration. If you want to know what I look like in real life, then watch my video called 5 Dinosaurs Caught on Camera. Subscribe to my YouTube channel because I upload a new video anytime. Number 0 zone. Sarah. A video called 10 two-sentence horror stories I watch. I will put it in the description below because it's late at night and that's not the right time to watch a video like that. It's 2:43 a.m. It starts with a girl hearing her mom's name. So she gets down. She brings her into her room and says, I heard it too. And then the demonic beings like Sarah in one part. This is my video from last time. Things that happen to animals that can defend themselves. This is my video from last time. 10 things that happen to animals that can defend themselves. Enjoy.